My name is Christopher Bean, and I am here to officially announce my candidacy in the upcoming general election for Constituency 35, also known as God's Country. A little bit about myself and the reason why I decided to run is because I believe in being a clear voice for the people. As an independent, I can do that without being constricted by party lines or party politics. There's a lot of back and forth that's currently going on within the community and Bermuda as a whole. And within this back and forth, the people are being neglected. Me, myself, I am a product of 35 and the Somerset community as a whole. I went to school at West End Primary as well as Sand Secondary Middle School. So I just truly want to give back to the community that raised me into this young man that I am today. A little bit about my professional background history. I went to school in New Orleans, in which I studied to be an EMT, and then I furthered my study in nursing. I came back and I worked at MWI, Mid Atlantic Wellness Institute, which then, basically fostered my passion for mental health. I then left there and I became the operations manager at a private psychiatric facility called Dignity House. I am also currently the board chairman of Beyond Inclusion, an organization that provides help and support for individuals with support needs, providing respite care as well. I'm also the director of operations for Pay a Kid, a charity that was founded by my brother, and which we actually provide skills training as well as vocational skills and employment for the youth ages 13 through to 18, preventing and getting them out of antisocial behavior and gang activity and crime.
He says he does some work, but that's debatable. That's debatable. But yeah, I just want to say that's a tough act to follow up. But my name is Cire Bean. I'm standing next to my brother Christopher Bean, and we will be entering into this race, this upcoming general election. I'm just a simple guy. I want to keep it short and sweet to the point. We understand that we are standing in front of you today, right now, as two young individuals. But I must make this clear. We are young enough to understand that we do not know it all, but early enough to understand that we know better. And it's imperative that we start not being sorry, not feeling sorry, but being better. We must be better going forward into this general election and beyond. It's not a time for bashing other individuals, bringing anybody down. No disrespect to any of the other political parties or independent members who are running. We should be uplifting each other as a country, as a people, in order to move forward. So that's what we stand for. That is what I believe in as well. And I will be running in Constituency 36. And as my brother mentioned, he'll be running in Constituency 35. So please feel free if you have any questions.
Hi, good afternoon to you both. Thank you very much for your remarks. I'll start with Christopher. So your brother has been out canvassing in Somerset for quite a few months. You were his former campaign manager in the by-election in October. But did he at all inspire you to step into the forefront?
Yes, I definitely will say that he did inspire me. You have to think that it's a lot of courage that it takes for a young individual to step into the political arena. I'll definitely say that this isn't anything new, though. Yeah. My whole family, from very, very young, we used to have conversations at the dinner table discussing articles, the political section as well. So we've always been, I guess, kind of brought up in this manner. So we always knew that our destiny was going to lead towards politics in some way or fashion. And with me being in a mental health background, I've seen a lot of struggle and I've seen a lot of need for change. And I just want to be able to do that at a more sustainable legislative standing.
Sure. Given your background, what sort of change do you feel that we need when it comes to mental health, especially in young people?
Mm-hmm.
How much time you
got? Yeah. It really is. So as you know, Cire founded the charity Pay a Kid. And initially, that charity was actually founded because of antisocial behavior and pain and suffering in the youth that we see today. And in current times, there's a lot of loss that's happening in our community. And I believe that that loss needs to be addressed. I also believe in rehabilitation, which means taking proactive steps rather than reactive steps. So maybe restructuring some of the current systems that we have. I don't think that the wheel necessarily has to be completely reinvented, but I believe that it's execution on some of these ideas that would really make Bermuda move forward in that landscape.
Sure. C35 has been held by Dennis Lister, a well-known PLP stalwart, and now also an OBA challenger. What makes you the right choice for voters in your constituency?
Wow, that is a great question. And I do believe that I am the right choice. I have absolute respect for Mr. Lister. My family, as well as myself, hold him in very high regards, as well as his family. I do think, though, that like everything, in order for a society to move forward, it requires adaptation. Party politics has served its purpose. And now we need something new, something creative to get us out of the current rut that we currently are in.
Thank
And
you.
I believe that I am the best option for that.
Okay. If I can just quickly go to Cire. So this is not your first time, your first rodeo. You're back in the ring. So, I mean, what did you learn from that previous experience, and what do you hope to do differently for the general election?
What I hope to do differently for the general election is be successful for the people, not for my own being, but what I learned over the time and what I have continued to learn on the doorstep is deeper levels of empathy and understanding. We are all going through the same struggles on the island, and we must come together as a community to remedy these issues. But you get to learn a lot more of history that you didn't know when you're on the doorstep and you're talking to a senior citizen, someone who's 80 years of age, and they have a plethora of knowledge to share and give out to you. And if you just take a second to listen, take it in, it's amazing what you will find out. So it's not learning of new struggles and things of that nature, but it's just bringing it to the forefront of this is what is taking place in every single household. This is what must be addressed. And as my brother mentioned earlier, it's not about reinventing the wheel, because I feel that you can have, and we do this in the military all the time as well, is that you can have an amazing plan, but poor execution. Or you can have a basic plan with fantastic execution. And that's what makes the difference. It's not necessarily the policies and things of that nature that are flawed, but it's actually the execution of those things. So we must look into that, and we are ready to fight. We are ready to do so. We understand it's an uphill battle. I got thick thighs, him a little bit, but we're ready to get after it. So.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Gareth Finnegan, Royal Gazette. Just a couple of questions. First one to both of you. Last night, the Imperial Group issued a statement saying that there's got to be a more unified, combined opposition. That if the vast majority of people want a change of government, then the only way that that's going to happen is if there's collaboration between the independents, the FDM, the OBA. Mm-hmm. What's your take on that? Do you agree with it in any way? And if so, how are you going to bring about that collaboration?
Well, when it comes to unity and collaboration, I feel that must take place no matter who you represent, where are you from, because we are all one. We are all in the same ship together. So when it comes to collaboration, you must, if a call is being forwarded to me from an individual from the FDM, OBA, PLP, other independents, I'm taking that call. We must have dialogue, open dialogue, because the best options, and that's the beauty about being an independent, you can source out the best viable option. So you must be able to reach out to everybody and have that conversation, have the ability to work together. Because going past the post, after February 18th, no matter what takes place, we must all work together.
Absolutely.
But have you been having those conversations currently, in the recent past, in the next couple of weeks, or are you going to wait until see where the chips fall on February the 18th and then take it from there?
So I can say for currently, we're definitely more so worried about campaigning, getting to know our constituency and our constituents as well. I'm hearing their concerns. If that does happen, maybe that would be something to investigate further in the future. But as of right now, that's not our current objective.
And what I can add to that is we're in Bermuda. It's not a vast place. So I bump into members of, I bump into politicians all the time on the street, in marketplace, at KFC, anywhere around. So we're always talking, and that's the thing. You shouldn't be, that is my enemy. That, like we try to say, the opposition is not those who we are running against. The opposition are the problems that Bermuda is facing right now. So we must, it's friendly, it's hugs. I bump into them, it's hugs, talks. We talk about different things that we would love to see for our country, because we're so busy tearing everyone down, tearing each other down. But you have to recognize, if somebody is stepping forward into the limelight to put on for their country or do good for their country, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of guts to get out there and be vulnerable. So we must acknowledge that and then welcome them all as well.
Okay. Now, secondly, and again to both of you, you're brothers.
Yeah.
You're both independent political candidates. What things do you agree on as potential politicians? What things do you agree on, and what things do you disagree on?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. One thing about us, we were raised on, my family is in the background right now. We have my brother Samuel Bean, my father Eric Bean. And as a family, we all, as my brother mentioned earlier, we always would sit at the dinner table. And just last night, we had a long discussion. I'm telling you, it took a lot of time, but we have that open dialogue. We disagree. And then we are mature enough to understand, all right, if we disagree, let's get the facts. Where's the common ground? And let's move forward. And the benefit about that is that we are able to do that with other individuals inside of the community as well. So yeah, we may disagree. I may like the color red, he makes like the color blue. It doesn't matter. It's what's best for the people. So whether we disagree, whether we agree, we come to what is the best viable option and action that we must take place.
Okay. One final question. Sorry if you and Jasmine touched on this already, but you put in a pretty good showing at the by-election in October.
Thank you very much.
How confident are you that you can go one better, maybe two better next month?
Well, I want to thank you very much for that question. What I will say is this: it all depends on the people. I'm extremely confident, but it's bittersweet, because my confidence is coming about with more conversations that I have. But the more conversations you have, the more people that you realize are disheartened, discouraged. They really lack. They have a lack of hope, and saying, "What is the point to get out there and vote? What? How does my vote matter?" And so it's encouraging those individuals that their vote definitely matters. You must get out there and exercise the right. But the fact that they know, and I've been canvassing, my brother as well has been canvassing, and it's beautiful to see, because the spark of hope that is there when you come onto the doorstep. You would think that you would get away. I don't want to hear from you or nothing like that, but we are welcomed in. It shows that spark of hope. So I'm very hopeful. At the end of the day, it's up to the electorate, and we will see come February 18th.
Gentlemen, thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
You might like red, we might like blue. Still something, yes?
There you go.
Now, what have you're both in our canvassing.
Yes.
What are you hearing at the doorsteps?
So for me, myself, what I'm currently hearing at the doorstep is a range of issues. It does trickle down from the national issues, I believe, and a lot of people are affected by these. For example, healthcare rates, the debt as well, the cost of living overall in Bermuda is skyrocketed, education, all of those different things, and especially senior care as well. There's an aging population in both of our constituencies, and I believe that that's one of the biggest things that have been brought up. So really just providing that infrastructure to ensure that those individuals get the care that they need after serving so much years for our country.
I want to ask both of you, you're young. Are you solution driven? Are you thinking of solutions that you might bring to the table? And if so, what are some of the solutions you might offer after hearing from individuals at the doorstep?
So yeah, when you say solution driven, goal oriented, that's what we're all about. We get together, we make it work, and make things happen. When it comes to solutions, a part of the solution is not living in the past, but understanding the past. So that's why we have these conversations with those who have lived before us to then see what is the best route to take forward. Because, like I said, we are young, we don't know it all, but we are willing to learn. And so we do, as we mentioned, we may have disagreements. We've tabled a lot of different ideas that we will be putting forward, regardless of what takes place on February 18th, because we are community driven and we believe in that. But when it comes to just solutions that we are putting based, it's about a bottom-up system. Absolutely. That's what we must curb. This Absolutely. Whole situation of you go to sleep, wake up, there's something in place that you had no idea was going on or were a part of in any way, shape, or form. That's what we must change. So at base root level, we must operate from a bottom-up system and get that consensus from our constituents. So that's what we need to re-engineer. MPs, no disrespect to anybody, but they're not reachable. They're not around. They haven't been seen. And if they are seen, that's it. They're never heard. They're never felt. And it's a time for change. They don't want a politician knocking at their door, certainly a politician, but they want a person with the willpower to drive forward what they need for their constituency.
Absolutely.
Cire, you got a few steps ahead of your brother.
Yeah, just a few.
How are you feeling now with your confidence level after going through a by-election?
The nerves are out. Confidence is there. And it's just about, the benefit of it is I never stopped. So after the by-election, I was right back out there. I was out at the gas station for hours on there. You can come by and see me from any time in the morning up until the evening at Marketplace. And I'm just, because it is my community, so I'm always there. But I'm feeling very hopeful, and the people are more encouraged to see other independent candidates stepping up, because they couldn't really identify how would this work. But it takes one person to break that barrier, break the mold, and now it encourages a movement.
How did you pull your brother in?
Oh no! Well, he pulled me in. So first, he was my campaign manager, but he was basically saying, "Hey, Cire, you gotta do this. You gotta make sure. Look, man, you're looking a bit shabby. Get it together." So, but I take a lot of input from my brother. But he this is what we do. This is what we've been doing. He has been on the ground with me since day one. So even when it comes to pay a kid, when I was up in the office making sure all of the logistics was right and everything like that, he was the one I was calling while he was on the ground, making sure that everything was all right. And there's hot days, long summers, and long. I'm saying thank you now, right?
Yeah. He's never said thank you before, but yeah.
But so he's always been encouraged, and this guy, I'll go back for him 100%.
So for those that are viewing that might see you two for the first time, but not you, Cire, who's the oldest, who's the youngest? One has to be older, one has to be younger.
So I'm slightly older than him by a year and a few months. Yeah, but he tends to think that he is, my senior. Yeah. But I just let it slide every now and then. So, yeah.
So you're both 35 and 36 constituency. Not
constituency,
age.
Yeah. 26 and 24.
Yes.
Yeah.
But C36 and C35.
Absolutely.
How are you going to negotiate with the canvassing between the two of you?
So we have developed our teams. There's members in the community that have reached out to us and are more than willing to help us with our canvassing. Our father is a prominent figure in the community as well, so it's really good. And we have our brothers, our whole family, all of our friends as well, and they're also willing to help. So it's really just split up in between, and we really do like targeted on a joint front as well. Both of us have a good dynamic together. We've worked alongside each other forever, essentially.
So my last question: you're both young.
Mm-hmm.
Your influence on a lot of young people. Are you talking to the young people to at least get them out to vote?
They are talking to us.
Yeah.
This has been the first time in history that I can remember right now where young individuals are coming out, they're voicing their concerns, they're hitting us up on political matters, they are sharing on social media and everything of that nature, and they want to get involved in the process. Bermuda Youth Connect is doing amazing work. They're spot on individuals, and it's imperative that we keep that open dialogue going, because the youth are waking up. They weren't asleep, but they are a little tired, but now with all the rustling going on, they're waking up, and that conversation is happening every single day.
That is not to say, though, that there's not more work to be done. Mm-hmm. We do need to educate our youth on these matters regarding politics and how policies are made and how Bermuda's system is governed. And I think that is missing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cire Bean officially announcing his
Official.
candidacy.
I'll shake that.